When a person manipulates you to gain your trust, it's called grooming.
And grooming can happen to anyone, but it doesn't happen overnight.
And by the time you realize something's wrong,
you feel like you can't stop it. Senior Pastor Paul was the head guy at my church. Everyone loved him. Because of him, I wanted to be a church leader, so I talked to him whenever I could. When he picked me to be his assistant at church, my parents were so proud, and I could see my whole future ahead of me.
Thanks for the help again, Lucas. I'd be lost without you.
He was a great mentor. We talked about guy stuff and growing up and life, and everything made sense. He made me feel smart, and when I felt lonely, he could always tell. He was my friend. The church was my whole world. I wanted to be just like Pastor Paul. So if his long hugs made me uncomfortable, or his touches confused me, I'd tell myself I was wrong for feeling that way. Because I trusted him. He was supposed to be right.
For me, the attention I got from my boss messed with my head, you know? I thought I was supposed to like it. I was stoked to have a job and to be making money. But when my boss AJ was around, things got confusing. She'd get close and talk about how I was her best worker and favorite guy. At first, the attention was nice, and an older woman maybe being into me? Every guy's dream, right? She'd invite me to hang out in her office and gave me beer.
Sometimes Paul picked me for special work with him.
I've got some more work to do in my office. Do you want to join me, Lucas?
I felt important, even though when we were alone, he would do weird things. Sometimes when we were in his office, he would show me porn. He said it was to teach me about sin and temptation. When he touched me, he said it was a way for people to show love, but it made me feel sick.
AJ was my first boss. Fresh Pack was my first job. And money was freedom, you know? And I wanted to keep my job. So I played along. Until this one night, when I closed. Hey, AJ, nobody else is scheduled for the night shift.
No, it's just gonna be us. You'll keep me safe.
My shift was almost over when it happened. I wish I could say I wasn't freaked out, but I was. It was one of those moments where your mind just goes numb, you know? And I tried to get a handle on what was happening, but all that came into my head was, I have to go.
With Paul, it got to a point where I couldn't ignore my feelings anymore.
You remind me a lot of myself as a boy, Lucas. Here, I think you'll enjoy this.
I kept telling myself, he's my friend. He's supposed to be looking out for me. But what if that's not true? And nobody would believe me anyway. In that moment, I just wanted out. Stop! I'd heard stories about weird things happening with coaches or church leaders before, but it can be hard to see when it's happening to you. In the beginning, grooming just looks like friendship, because praise, attention, and even some affection can feel harmless at first.
AJ was my boss, so it felt like I had to keep her happy to keep my job. But even though the special treatment felt good sometimes, I didn't want to feel uncomfortable at work.
Paul made me feel important, and everyone trusted him, even my parents. And he was always supposed to be in the right. Even though he gave me responsibility and praise, the way he acted made me feel sick to my stomach.
No matter how much power someone has or what you think might happen when you say no, if they make you feel uncomfortable, they're in the wrong.
I told my parents and the police, And even though everything finally stopped, I still can't believe the power Paul had over me.
Even if it's gone on a long time, and you've gone along with it, you can still speak up for yourself, get away, or get help.
I thought something was normal, only to realize it wasn't. Or that someone who should seem perfectly friendly was making you feel uncomfortable. If these are things you felt in your childhood, or you're still a minor and are currently feeling about an adult in your life, it may be your intuition's way of warning you. Otherwise, if you're simply curious and want to educate yourself about grooming, or worry that someone you know might be going through it, you're in the right place. Grooming is the manipulative process of normalizing sexual and inappropriate behavior between minors and adults. It allows the adult to subtly or overtly assert inappropriate control and power over the child, in which the ultimate goal is abuse. It can happen to anyone, regardless of gender or background. The groomer may be a family member, friend, or professional. It's a chilling reality, but understanding its stages and recognizing its signs is crucial for safeguarding ourselves and our loved ones. With that said, here are 7 warning signs of grooming to be on the lookout for, according to experts. A quick note before we continue: accusing someone of grooming holds serious consequences, so it's important to approach these situations with care and consideration. Speaking out against grooming is crucial, but it's also important to acknowledge the nuances in different relationships and contexts. For instance, a close family member may display some of these signs without malicious intent. However, if someone exhibits more than 4 signs consistently, it's highly probable they are a groomer. Remember to always trust your intuition. Excessive secrecy. Is there an older person in your life that messages or calls you often but asks you to keep it a secret? Do they call you their friend or maybe more in private but then act like strangers with you in public? Groomers rely on secrecy to maintain control over their victims and avoid scrutiny from others. They might pressure you into keeping your interactions with them private, using excuses like, "Our relationship is special and others wouldn't understand," or "It's our little secret." Otherwise, they risk exposing their true intentions and manipulative tactics. Unexplained gifts. While receiving gifts or favors from someone can feel nice, be cautious if their gestures come with hidden expectations attached. Groomers may use gifts and favors as a way to create a sense of indebtedness and make it harder for you to say no when they ask for favors. This might also be a tactic from them to gain your trust and get you to lower your guard with them by making you like them more. Special treatment or attention. Ever had a teacher give you special treatment or felt that they were overly interested in you? Be careful not to let it get to your head. Groomers know just how to stroke your ego, making you feel like the most special person in the room. But here's the catch. This special treatment isn't about making you feel good. It's about gaining your trust and dependence so they can control and exploit you. Spending time alone. Beware of adults who insist on spending excessive one-on-one time with you. Predators often seek opportunities to isolate their targets away from the watchful eyes of others. This could mean insisting on spending time with you away from friends, family, or trusted individuals. For instance, a coach who constantly offers private training sessions outside of regular practice hours might be crossing boundaries into potentially dangerous territory. Allowing things your parents forbid. Say your parents forbid you from going out past midnight or watching graphic movies, but you had an adult friend who'd let you get away with it. They'd probably seem really cool to you, right? But it's actually a major red flag when someone encourages you to engage in activities or behaviors that your parents have expressly forbidden. They do this not only to gain your trust, but also to undermine your parents' authority and coax you into doing more and more dangerous things like smoking, drinking, or having sex. Instead, respectful individuals will honor your family's rules and boundaries rather than encourage you to defy them. Excessive physical touching. Pay attention to how someone respects your personal boundaries and comfort level with physical contact. Are they constantly trying to get in your personal space or touch you without permission? Maybe they pass it off as a friendly hug, an accidental touch, or something like a shoulder massage. No matter how harmless it might seem at first, groomers will always try to escalate these types of behaviors to sexualize your relationship and maybe even use your natural curiosity against you. For example, they might proposition you with things like, "Do you need someone to teach you how to kiss? Let's practice then." minimizing others' concerns. If anyone else has ever expressed concern about your relationship with an older friend or relative, a groomer will always try to downplay or dismiss their concerns. They don't know what they're talking about, or everyone else is just so judgmental and malicious. They'll probably try to convince you that those other people are just overreacting or misunderstanding things between you, or even gaslight you into questioning your own instincts. Maybe you're right, this is wrong. Oh, what, so you're on their side now? When did you become so childish and uncool? I thought we were friends. That's grooming. Grooming is a complex and insidious process, but awareness is your first line of defense. And by educating yourself on the common tactics and warning signs, you'll be better able to protect yourself and your loved ones. If something feels off or uncomfortable, don't ignore it. Establish clear boundaries in your relationships, even with adults, and don't hesitate to speak out if you witness grooming behavior or suspect someone is being targeted. Your voice can make a difference in preventing.
3 chocolate drinks coming up.
Oh my god, remember this field trip?
Let me see. I cannot believe I wore a choker. So, 2017. Well, at least it was better than chasing Pokemon all day.
What an era. We were so adorable. Even me.
Jason, my first crush.
You mean my first crush. Remember him, Zoe?
Yeah, Jason.
How's the party going? Are you having fun?
They all fell asleep. I'm not feeling that well. My stomach is cringing.
What happened? It's not the chocolate milk, is it?
No, it's not it. Remember Jason? We saw some pictures of him earlier, and I don't know why, but thinking of him now made me feel bad.
Jason Mitchell? What do you mean?
It was a long time ago. Probably doesn't matter.
If there's something bothering you, no matter how long ago it happened, it matters. And you can always trust me and tell me. I'm always on your side.
He was a good guy. Everyone loved him. But he had jokes that I didn't understand.
What jokes?
He would sometimes tell us that we weren't young girls anymore, that he sees how we've grown, and that he was waiting to see us grow breasts.
He said what?
And sometimes he would come closer and whisper that he was thinking about me and about my body. Sometimes he was also moving his hand down my back and over my thighs.
I can't believe it. This is really, really wrong. Do you know this is sexual abuse?
Oh, Mom, what sexual abuse are you talking about? I knew you'd make a big fuss of it. It was just his style.
Zuzu, my sweetie, it's not a style, and there's nothing funny about it either. No one should say or do such things.
But I don't know, I was thrilled by the attention. I guess part of it happened because of me.
Absolutely not. You were only 9 or 10 years old. You didn't understand what was happening. You listened to an adult and he took advantage of you. Don't worry. Tomorrow we'll go together and report it.
Perhaps we should just forget the whole story and that's it. It would be so embarrassing to talk about it.
Look, we won't do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. But you know, there's nothing wrong with acting and saying, "This man hurt me."
I feel my head exploding. That's a lot to take in.
You know what? You don't have to think or decide on anything right away. I didn't mean to stress you out. Take your time and think about it. And if needed, there are professionals who can help too. Why don't you cuddle up here with me for a little bit longer? And in the meantime, would a cup of extra chocolate whipped cream marshmallows cheer you up a bit?
I don't think so. But a cup of extra chocolate whipped cream marshmallows and chocolate syrup might be a start.
Mom, I think I'm ready to report him.
I'm sorry, loving me isn't easy. I'm sorry for all the pain I've costed you in this life. I'm sorry for not being the.
What up, everybody? I'm Little E, and welcome to my channel. My dream has been to do social media and to put out good content and to motivate people and to entertain y'all. But today, I want to get into my past and tell you the story and all that. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's start out with this. Yes, I was touched and raped, groomed as a child, and how it has affected me. We'll get into that and how I've dealt with it and where I'm at today. So let's start back when I was the age of 9. This individual I can't actually do it. So Ty Brandon Roberts pretended to be a girl, and he had photos and this and that of this individual he pretended to be, and he would send them to you and want you to send back this and that, but before he would do that, he would be friendly with you, find something you liked, and then talk to you about that and try to make you feel wanted, welcomed, and safe. So then he could send the picture as this girl he portrayed to be, and then that's when he would start doing his thing. He would buy gaming gift cards and, offer you it to do this and all that. So, at the age of 10, not thinking, being young, you don't know better, I fell for it, and that was the worst mistake of my life. And, going on from 10, he would keep doing it, 11, and then 12 is where, he finally wanted to meet, and, I blew it off, blocked him. He kept making fake numbers, this and that, finding ways to get a hold of me. And one day I was just chilling at a mall around here that he somehow knew I was at, found me, and we would say stalking. Yeah, he was stalking me, and I went into the bathroom to use the restroom, and he walked in behind me. Didn't think anything of it, and he stopped me and said, "Do you know who I am?" And I said, "No," and he told me. And from that moment I was freaked out. Kept blocking. There was a moment, where I did the dumb stuff, and he had pictures and stuff like that, and a little bit before I turned 13, he was threatening. If I didn't, he was going to post them, share them, this and that, use them. And so I felt forced to have intercourses, which did happen. And it hit 13, and it's still going on. And he's still doing this, and, I again felt forced. So I'm going to read my victim impact statement that I wrote and read in the court. This tells when I was 13, and also other moments and times through it. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Minor E, and the impact the crime had on me was life-changing. I was barely eating. I was maybe getting an hour of sleep. I still have nightmares every night, and all I see is everything Ty Brandon Roberts did to me. I can't be around people because of what happened. It's hard to have friends because I have a hard time trusting. It's hard to get into a relationship because I'm afraid what he did may happen again. And to everyone else he did this to, they are as hurt as me. This man made me feel worthless. I almost took my life because I was so ashamed that I let him do this to me. And all of the hurt he did, I will never be the same. This has changed my life forever. I mean, I was 13 years old when he took sexual photos of me without me knowing. These photos made me feel very insecure about myself. What happened when I went to Ty Brandon Roberts' house? This was a multiple time thing. I wrote this myself, but this is what happened. Now, before I get into what happened, I want to explain some of the things up top. The impact of the crime was life-changing. It changed my life, and until this day, it changes me. And it will forever change me. I was barely eating. Man, I was lucky if I ate one meal a day, let alone felt like eating. I felt sick to my stomach every day. I was maybe getting an hour of sleep. Yeah, I can't sleep. I still can't sleep to this day, really. I still have nightmares every night, and all I see is everything he did to me. That's true. I still do. I see it every time, and if not every time, well, pretty close to every time. I can't be around people because of what happened. That's true. Being around a lot of people or being around people I don't know, I get very bad anxiety. And every day that I do it, I feel like it's going to get better, but it doesn't. I just got to bite my tongue and get through it. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to have friends because of what he did. That's true. It's hard for me to trust people because I don't know if it's going to happen again. And if you've been through sexual abuse or sexual assault, you realize that, it's just hard to trust people. Being in a relationship's very hard because you don't know if it's going to happen again. You don't know what to trust. You don't know who to trust. And it's not their fault that you don't trust them. We're still able to be loved, and we still want to. We just got to find it with the right person. And, it's hard. Okay, let's see. I almost took my life. Yes, I feel worthless every day. I do. I feel worthless every day. And, but I've started to fix myself on the worthlessness. And yeah, I almost took my life. I just felt there was nothing left for me, and all I seen was that. And every time I looked in the mirror and everything, I couldn't trust people. It was just hard, man. Barely sleeping, barely eating. It was just hard. Regret that moment, but hey, I was ashamed that I let him do this to me. Yes. I still am, but, I was young, and we don't know when we're younger. So, the 13 part, when he took the photos, that was a guess, but with some of them, you can tell I was way younger, and I am pretty sure that he did at 10 and through on, but, yeah. And now, we get down to the nitty-gritty. What happened when I went to Ty Brandon Roberts' house? Here we go. The cousin picked me up. It was an hour drive to his house. When we got to his house, I was nervous and scared. In my mind, I was thinking on how to get out. I felt trapped. I had no way home. I felt forced to have sexual intercourses. In the moment, I was thinking of how ashamed I was for letting this happen. I was making jokes to try and make him stop, but he kept wanting to do it. On that day, my parents filed a missing child report. It was scary for me when I was 13 and you would text, but when I didn't respond, you would threaten to ruin my life. Yes, all these. Cousin picked me up. On the way there, he was touching me, this and that, trying to make me feel calm. And in my mind, I wanted to get out of it. But again, he had these photos and he threatened to post them everywhere. So again, I felt forced with that. It was an hour drive. That drive was horrible. I wish I could have jumped out, but I didn't. When we got to his house, I was nervous and scared. Yes, I was. I was shaking. My anxiety was through the roof. I just wanted to go home. And yeah, in my mind, I was thinking on how to get out. I felt trapped. Like I just said, I felt trapped, wanted to go home. I had no way home. I was forced to have sexual intercourses. There was no way out. And again, if I didn't, he would post it, and I didn't want that. In a moment, I was thinking of how ashamed I was for letting this happen. I was making jokes to try and make him stop, but he kept wanting to do it. Yes, I was trying to make jokes, trying to, he's older. He could have beat the crap out of me, so that wasn't going to work. So I tried to make jokes to get him to stop, but he kept doing it, so that did not work. On that day, a missing child report was filed because he took my phone, and, they pinged it to where we were alert, and that's when he gave it back. It was scary for me when I was 13 and you would text, but when I didn't respond, you would threaten to ruin my life. Yes, every time. I live with that every day. And then this part is what I think he should have got. And then the lyrics I wrote for a song that helped me cope. I think that me and everyone involved would love if Ty Brandon Roberts spent the rest of his life in prison for everything I've been through and everyone else. This is the lyrics from my song I made about what happened. All the pain I feel makes me cry at night, but I'm here now and I'm up now, 'cause all the pain I feel is the pain I see. The pain for me, 'cause I'm mentally exhausted. And yes, I was. And now we're going to go 14. This is where, he started stalking me more. And, still grooming, asking me to do this. If I didn't, threatening. And then 15, had sexual intercourses again. And then 16, we did one more time. And then 17 is when everything stopped. So from 9 all the way through, it was a hard time. And how I deal with it today and how I've dealt with it is talking to people. Trying to make friends and trying to help people and be there for people. And not being alone and not sitting alone and not just sitting in my thoughts alone. So getting through it is building every day, and the pain never goes away. I cry every day. I see it every day. But the fact is I'm going to get up, keep fighting, keep pushing, and never stopping. Because, my story can help another person. As a man who's been touched and raped, I ain't ashamed to share it, and I hope it helps. And that's my story, and I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope this gets to people, and people, like it. I mean, not like it for the story, but like it and feel, and the people that have been through it know they're not alone. So remember that, and keep fighting every day. The pain you go through is forever, but you have to figure out how to deal with it and cope with it. So keep fighting, keep pushing, and help somebody. When you see somebody feeling down, be there for them. The worst thing as a person that's been through it is feeling alone and feeling worthless and feeling that nobody wants to be there or be their friend and help them at their lowest moments. So remember, you're not alone. You got this, and I'm here for anybody and everybody, and I will always spread positivity and want to make y'all laugh and make y'all realize that, no matter what somebody goes through, they can get through it. Stay up, stay motivated, stay positive. I'm Little E. Let's go.